All right, this is going to be kind of a general information video, clear up some kind of misinformation. There's a lot of it out there about UC Berkeley. This is for both prospective students and those people who are just kind of curious about the university from all over the world, and to clear up a lot of misinformation. All right, let's get started. Okay, for starters, you'd be surprised how many people don't know this. UC Berkeley, Berkeley, Cal, California, University of California, Berkeley. These are all one college. One. They're not different colleges. I can understand how it can be confusing if you're not from California and you hear all these different names, but it's one place. Although the University, Berkeley School of Music is in a different school, but UC Berkeley has a music department. But the reason it has so many names is because there used to just be one University of California, and it was established in 1868 in Berkeley. Then there were others, such as UCLA, UC Davis, UC Santa Barbara, UC San Diego. But they don't use the University of California or Cal or California because they weren't the first. We were first, we were the one. I say we like we are the university. Anyway, I hope that clears up some things. Secondly, UC Berkeley is not in the Ivy League. I'm shocked how many people don't know what the Ivy League is. The Ivy League is a sports league. It's for colleges to play sports against each other. It is schools in the Northeast, which are prestigious, and they play against each other. Berkeley is not in the Northeast. Berkeley is considered a Pac-12 school or a Mountain Pacific school, depending on the sport. It's also considered a UC school, but it's also public, unlike the Ivy League schools. Stanford's also not Ivy League. NYU is not Ivy League. You should live in New York City. People didn't know this. But anyway, just clearing up. You might be surprised some people don't know this, but a lot don't. Also, if I had to count the amount of times my professors shoved socialism or communism down my throat, it would be 0 times, 0. If I counted the amount of times they talked about socialism in a positive way, it would also be 0. Professors don't really bring their political beliefs into subjects very often. And they don't, there's also liberal professors, moderate professors, and conservative professors. And the conservative professors are overwhelmingly liked and respected by their students, and vice versa. There was this one guy, A. James Gregor. I don't know why it went by his first initial. I think he taught at West Point too, and he was old then. I don't even know if he's still alive, but he was crazy. He was very conservative, but if you showed up late to his class, like 20 seconds, he would stop and start screaming at you and running, like saying, no, you can't do that. It was crazy. Every day. And someone would do it every day. But I wonder if he's still around. Probably the most prestigious undergraduate degree you can get from UC Berkeley is from the business school, which is called the Haas School of Business. And it's one of the most prestigious undergraduate degrees you can get really in the world. The people who get degrees from that school are not looking to implement socialism. For the most part, they're looking to be like the next Warren Buffett, or in certain cases, like the next Gordon Gekko, and sometimes really pissed when it doesn't work out. They're like, I was supposed to be a billionaire by now. It's like, hey man, take it easy. Anyway, I got friends like that. In the 1960s, UC Berkeley was the center, or one of the centers, of the free speech movement, which was mostly speaking out against the Vietnam War. And there's lots of things on campus there to commemorate these events. There's the Free Speech Movement Cafe, which is connected to the library, which is a good place to go if you have a big test or midterm the next day and you're either prepared or not prepared, because there'll probably be people from your class there because it's open, I think, 24 hours, or was then, at least till late. Has lots of pictures commemorating the free speech movement. Also, One of the most famous buildings on campus, Sproul Hall, has the steps named after Mario Savio, called the Savio Steps, and he was kind of the leader of the free speech movement. He would give these speeches from these steps, kind of like Martin Luther King Jr., except not as famous. Also, he was a white guy. There are protests on campus and in the city of Berkeley. However, a lot of times these protesters are not organized by or done by students. They're just people. Like, there's lots of people in the Bay Area. Berkeley and Oakland are kind of one city. No one really knows when one starts or begins. And right across the bay, there's San Francisco, so it's a major metropolitan area. And sometimes it's reported by the news or fake news, whatever you call it, that this thing happened at UC Berkeley, and it portrays, regardless of what it was doing, it was maybe portraying the university a different way than it actually is. Most people are there just to study. And yeah. Also, the majority of the people who apply to UC Berkeley who have 4.0 GPAs or higher do not get in. It's just the way things are. There's winners and losers, honey. Deal with it. The only reason I got in is because I was smarter than everyone else. Still am. But also there was I guess a student government group called the Affirmative Action for Hot Chicks, which existed because there weren't hot chicks. There were a few. There weren't probably a lot of attractive people in general, and that's just the way things are. The reason I say that is because a lot of people, they think of California like it's going to be some cast of some stupid CW show or Baywatch or something, and it's not. It's, there aren't attractive people at Berkeley, aren't attractive people at Stanford, aren't attractive people at Caltech. That's just the way things are. What do the people look like? Envision a person with a 4.0 and a 1450 on the SAT. That's what they look like. Actually, one time I was in class and someone walked in front of me. It was a girl, and she turned around, and she was so ugly, it legitimately scared me, and I jumped. I was like, oh my God. And that's never happened to me anytime in my life. Other than that, that's why it's stuck in my memory. Yeah, she's probably like a doctor now or something. All right, I hope this was informative and helpful and cleared up some misconceptions about the school. If you like more of this, feel free to subscribe, leave comments, all that crap. Don't forget, go Bears. And by Bears, I do mean big, hairy, gay dudes. Well, in this case, big, golden, hairy, gay dudes. You know who you are, right?